singing jazz because we went to this event last evening, the concert for Esteem. It was really good. The concert, the lady really played well. I told my daughter, I'm like, she could really play that flute. Like, oh my god, it was so. Um, was it a flute? Is that
Yes, it was
okay?
a flute, and
Okay.
she was bad on that flute. She was bad. She was
He
bad.
was. I was like, oh my god! I said, never heard it like that before. So it's just very cool.
That's what I mean.
I'm just chatting. See,
Now,
y'all
is
tell
that
me.
too loud? Let me turn that down a little.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
In this parade, please wave your grades at the brave who fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. I said in this parade, please wave your grades at the brave who fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. You make this parade a mere charade if you're marching just for fun. Our troops must feel your thanks for real before the marching is done. They know side by side you can match their stride to the drum beat and the brass, but they're not impressed with you unless you can match their stride in class. This may not sound too diplomatic, but I cannot be more emphatic when I tell you it's problematic when you do less than your best. And so it is that we are introducing Wave Your Grades Saturday afternoon, April 8th, at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. And as technologically I have pressed the wrong button, or perhaps have misplaced a wire. So,
We can't hear him.
but the music stopped.
Right, and now I don't hear him in the mic. Speak again.
I think that you should be able to
All
hear me on the
right.
microphone. You
Hello,
cannot hear me on the
everyone.
microphone. So that
We can hear you on the mic.
Okay.
Yes, we can
I,
hear
We
I,
you.
can hear you.
yeah,
every
I
We
can
just
hear.
can't see you.
and I can
I'm
hear
I'm
you
trying to
respond to
play tech.
me,
I'm
and
trying to
I can
play
And
hear those.
troubleshoot.
Yeah.
yes,
So let us not worry about the theme song. Let us go into a very
it
special
was good
program.
though. It was great. I heard it. I heard it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. This is Wave Your Grades, and let us do this properly as we introduce the program, and then I will explain what we're doing today, introducing to some and reminding others of our producer, announcer, co host, and engineer, DeQuay Wilson. So here we go officially.
Good afternoon, all, and welcome to Wave Your Grades on KUAW.org, the academic patriotism program that is dedicated to veterans and serious secondary scholars. I am your announcer, DeQuay Wilson. Now, here is our host, civilian urban educator, Carl Boyd.
Thank you so very much, and let me apologize to all of our guests and both of our listeners for my being responsible for hitting the wrong button. Apparently, I pushed something on the radio that I should not have. And by the way, the reason we have done that lately is because when we play the theme song, it is not heard by those who are in the studio. And if it is not heard, we made a determination that we would do it live. When we do it live, now I'm playing as a matter of fact, it speaks to age when I characterize this instrument as a boombox. So those who are a little older know what I'm talking about when I say boombox. But let me not waste the time today because this is such, seriously, a very special program. And when you see the caliber of our guests this afternoon, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. For those being introduced to Wave Your Grades, let me indicate to you that this is a program dedicated to veterans. It is a program that encourages American students to strive for excellence in honor of our troops. And what we like to do is invite veterans to help our young people know not only what they've done, but what they are doing to encourage young people to strive towards excellence. Usually, DeQuay, on first Saturdays, we are blessed to have members of the Smart Club and other young people introduced to us by Valencia Brothers. But this is our second Saturday. We had something very special last week. So this is the program that has Valencia Brothers introduce the young people with whom she works. Before she does that, I want to say a very profound thank you to Joel Bailey. And is your title president of Footprints, or founder of director of Footprints? And this program for veterans and paying particular attention to veteran housing will have you as our first guest on, but I would like for you to introduce your guest to our guests, and then I will ask Valencia brought us to introduce those whom she brought us. So, first, Joel Bailey, thank you so much for being here.
And thank you, Mr. Boyd. It's an awesome opportunity always to come in and to be a visit here at the radio station, to be a part of the program, part of the community, giving us an opportunity to see what Footprints does for the veterans in the community. Special guests. I have our program manager for our new veteran project that we're building here on the east side of Kansas City. I would like to introduce to you Ms. Nyla Emby. She's here doing an awesome job with leading our project that we hope to break ground in June, July, or August of this year. So, yeah, we're excited about having Nyla here today to talk about our project and what we're going to do for the community and for our veterans, not only inside the building but outside the building.
This is so very good. And Nyla, you might want to make any introductory remarks that you like. And what a pleasant and wonderful coincidence. You mentioned Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I happen to have colleagues from Kalamazoo. So, but please, Nyla, please go right ahead.
Thank you for having us, and thank you, Joel, for inviting me to this broadcast. Very honored to be able to work on the Heroes Homegate project. I am the founder of Accomack Development Group, formerly working for Ivanhoe as a real estate developer for them. So the project is in Ivanhoe, and again, it is really a highlight of my career to be able to work on this because of the value that Footprints and the Heroes Homegate project brings to the veteran community and to the homeless community at large.
And as the program goes on, I will be asking you about something called Buy a Brick, also, by the way.
Absolutely.
So before we come back around to that, let me just say appreciation for your patience and for being again with Wave Your Grades. Here is attorney Valencia Broadus.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Okay, Miss Nyla, I think first that I may have met you before. I was in Ivanhoe and did stuff there, but your name is familiar. And so at some point, we can't see you like right now, but maybe at some point we'll connect and talk. So my name is Valencia Broadus. I'm a real estate attorney, and even more importantly, in the latter part of my life, the other half mile of the way, I'm a youth development specialist. I help to develop human capital, not just in kids, but also in adults programs, stuff like that. And our Smart Career Club, we've been around for 20 plus years,
Yes.
and we just help young leaders to catch a dream and make it grow. And that's the biggest thing that we do. So we have a lot of very serious scholars making things happen. And today, my guests are a couple of individuals that also are helping making some great things happen with young people. And I want to make sure that we're just connecting them, especially to what's happening today with the Veterans Project. So we have Miss Paris Holly. She's been around our Smart Career Club forever. She is one of our academic enhancement specialists. She does math, tutoring, all that type of stuff. But also she is one of our mentors and helps our young people to really navigate the educational, pieces of what are happening. And she'll, of course, talk to us, later as well. And then we have Mr. Phil Kind. He is he's executive director for Kansas City Freedom Schools. And Kansas City Freedom Schools, and he'll tell more about that, of course, himself. The main thing we wanted to do today is to just share a little bit more about what Freedom School, what they're doing, and what we're going to be doing over the summer. But also, Freedom Schools, we have a piece where our young leaders always, and I know, Mr. Boyd, you know Freedom School because you were definitely a big part of them. And so you and Bishop will talk about that too a little bit later. But a big part of Freedom School is they have to have a community service engagement piece. And I'm all about intergenerational connections. And so I told Mr. Phil when I heard about Mr. Bailey and Miss Nyla coming on today with this project that I asked him to please join us so he can be thinking, Mr. Phil can be thinking about how can our scholars maybe come once a week or something to connect. So that's who they are. And we're just going to listen a little bit more and, we'll talk as you need us to.
This is fantastic. We are certainly going to come back to you. And let me tell you why this is fortuitous and just God led. The idea behind Wave Your Grades, the idea behind our program, to which we refer as STUTS for Boots. STUTS is short for students, boots for troops. So STUTS for Boots.
Absolutely.
But STUTS is also an acronym, STOOTS, that stands for Students Theater of Operations, the school. So that as those who have served and are serving attend to their duty in their theaters of operation, those who are in school should have the same degree of seriousness about what they are pursuing as those who make it possible for them to indeed pursue. So this program, Wave Your Grades, is supposed to reflect those who serve and have served and how they are encouraged by young people doing what they're supposed to do. And then we would like to offer examples of exemplary young people. This program today does precisely that.
Absolutely.
In a way that we seldom get the opportunity to do, because we're going to start today with Joel and Nyla and what veterans are doing, and indeed for other veterans. Then we will ask Attorney Valencia Broadus and Mr. Phil and Paris Holly to respond with what they are doing. So please, Brother Bailey, if you would, start us off with one or more of the projects that, and it was so good that Valencia said they would like to participate.
Awesome.
So you can elaborate on how. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Boyd. Yes, this is an awesome opportunity. I would like to just start off a little bit about describing the services that we provide for veterans at Heroes Homegate. We're a 24-hour operation, 3 meals a day. We have 2 case managers. We have a clinical supervisor that is also there. We also have a chef that's there. And so part of the services that we provide for the veterans is to work with them to get them into independent living, which requires us to help them with some of their financial stability. Also looking at any evictions or help paying off any other debts. So the thing that we want to do is not to just push them into a house. We want to make sure that they're stable, and we want to learn how to stable veterans, and so they have longevity into their housing.
Yes.
Some of those other services that I'm listening to I'm excited about the team that's here today, because the new facility that we're going to have, the veteran campus that I stated earlier, will also have office space that will be for possible some of the things that we're talking about now.
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah, we could be able to do some of the training or for some of the teaching or helping the kids with some of their education. And as we go further, I'm sure we'll be able to elaborate on using space in that new facility that we have there. It's on the east side of Kansas City, with 200711 East 35th Street.
Yes,
if you
sir.
pass by there now, you'll see the gates that are around the lot there, and you'll see the signage, and you'll see the growth, the beginning there. So with this opportunity to be the facility, just a little bit about it, it also will have a gym in it. It will have a rec room in it. We will have a classroom. We have meeting offices that are there in that facility, laundry room facility. It will have a library that's also there. The women will have their own wing with their own isolated living room area that's there. It'll have a living room area that's also for family and friends to come and engage with the veterans too, which enhance healthy engagement. And one of the things that we want to encourage the veterans that are homeless is to be able to reestablish themselves back into the community. This new veteran campus will be able to give them ability to do that. We will have a
yes, sir.
We will have a commercial cafeteria, commercial kitchen that will be there. We will have a movie theater that are also there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the movie theater that will be there. We'll look at for people to be able to come in the community, come in to help with the yoga room. That we will have there too to teach them about stretching, the wholeness, the wellness,
yes,
the holistic approach about living. We also will have a wellness center upstairs that will also be there for veterans too.
This is so wonderful because I am sure that among the things that Valencia Broadus has heard is financial literacy, and she can tell us about some of those things that the young people are doing in that regard. But you mentioned a word, space, and it made me think about, Nyla. Please tell us in terms of your responsibilities. When I hear space, what I went to was geography. How wide an area can be treated, from where can those veterans come, and what is the age range?
Well, the veterans can actually come from anywhere
Good.
across the country.
Good.
They are referred to Footprints Heroes Home Gate through the VA administration. So it doesn't have to just be in Kansas City. It's anybody who comes through the VA.
Outstanding. And about your responsibilities, if and when the young people do respond and ask ways that they might join, might supplement, might volunteer, what are some of those things?
Yeah, I actually see two different parts to that. One, while the building is being constructed, we could always use boots on the ground, additional hands to do some fundraising for us. And then once the building is actually constructed, then they would then interface with Heroes Home Gate and Joel on the actual programming piece. And then I'm imagining that there's probably also some programming even before the building is constructed that they could help Joel with.
This is outstanding, and I would like Attorney Valencia Broadus to respond, and again to bring in your very special guests today.
Okay, so exciting, but I talk a lot, so I'm not going to talk long. I'm going to throw the first ball about financial literacy, what we do with our young people, and how I think they can definitely have some fun financial literacy engagement to Miss Paris Holly, because that's what we do. And Miss Paris, just give us a quick overview of thinking about, wow, what do they do?
And before you do, I was just wondering if I need to introduce you to Joel Bailey.
Yes, we definitely need to meet Mr. Joel Bailey and definitely Miss Nyla, because I'll share more, but I want to make sure that our young leaders get a chance, because they are, you two, Miss Paris, Mr. Phil, you guys are leaders, and you're helping us to mold the younger people to, have deeper moral fabrics and all that. And I'll share this thought. I'm a community health worker, and I'm also a peer specialist. And so I do a lot of work with seniors, with veterans, etc., through recovery and all these types of things. And the support services that we've learned is the more that we can definitely help our younger people, not just to understand, things so that they may not go different paths, but how do they have compassion and help and give love and energy to our seniors, especially, that help them to have a greater quality of life. And so that reason is, yes, we do programming with young people, but we're trying to also teach our young people the deeper value of our other elders again. And that's, we have to connect them to play together and work together. So that's what I know I can talk forever, so I won't.
Well,
but I
Paris
wanted
Holly
to
will tell you
share
why
that
I
little
asked her
piece
that
of
question.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Um, Hello, everybody listening. My name is Paris Holly. Well, I do know Mr. Bailey. That is the kid's grandpa. So
Amen. Amen.
you didn't, yeah. That's a whole piece that you weren't aware of. So we had a whole little, mix and mash in the station
Absolutely.
before I left.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, my beautiful.
so
Outstanding.
yeah, that's some of you guys know I'm a mother of twins. I'm a substitute teacher, an engineer by trade, mentor, on top of many other things that I do. So for our financial literacy piece for our Monday show, we have our Smart Money News and Business Review. So we're also educating our young students on their financial literacy, their financial health, so that they could be better in everything that they're doing and be smart about it and give them information that we may not have had and also help them achieve their own goals and their own dreams, by showing them and letting them help lead different aspects of business and finances and how they can operate that, how they could do their business plan. So we're incorporating that with what we're doing with Freedom School, and so they could learn each aspect. So not only saving for themselves since they get to earn money through this program, but how we could have them talk to investors, but just getting into the right mindset of getting out of this weird generational struggle. We want them to be further than where we are now and even further past that because they have the accessibility to do it. And we are all we need in our community, which I heard last night, a little jazz thing. We are all we need. So we just have to show them what they have here and that we are a resource. We do care and we're not going to leave them behind.
Absolutely.
This
So
is so.
that's my little bit of piece.
Oh, that is outstanding. And by the way, what time on Mondays and on what station?
So on Mondays, you can find us on KUAW.org at
Right
7
here.
p.m. for Smart Money News and Business Reviews. I will be, the lovely, I'm not the host. Our lovely host is Miss Valencia Broadus, and our co-host is Miss Bree Logan. We can also follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. I think the kids just did something crazy. And you can also have our lovely Roku TVs. Ask
Outstanding.
them or Siri to listen to us. So, we're a
But
little
you
bit
are our
everywhere.
amazing co-producer. So yes, you are our awesome, lovely
Outstanding.
producer.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. All shout outs to Mr. Walker.
For training and teaching. And before I introduce Mr. Phil, I'll give a little piece. Ms. Paris talked about how we're doing financial literacy and developing with Freedom School. Ms. Paris and Ms. Tanisha, some others, we have something called a career kitchen. And with our career kitchen, we did it with Mount Pleasant last year and De La South, some other students. And Ms. Paris is a part of that career kitchen training team. And so we'll talk about the cooking and chef part in the kitchen later. But I wanted to mention that's when she mentioned what she does as we're getting ready to help Freedom School in the summer, especially. We're training interns right now on being able to really cook and prepare food to be able to be of good culinary, service to Mr. Phil's program that he is the leader of, which is Kansas City Freedom School. So I wanted to share what she meant by that and then pitch it to Mr. Phil. And Mr. Phil, I know you see lots of opportunities of how your scholars are, if allowed, will be able to, not allow, but meaning great match, through Mr. Bailey and Miss Nyla, how we can make some things happen. Talk to us about you first. Tell us who you are, Mr. Phil, and why you love Freedom School. Let's start there, please.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Again, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you, Ms. V, for inviting me. My name is Philip Kine. You call me Mr. Phil. I am the executive director of Kansas City Freedom Schools. I'm a product of Freedom School. I've been a part of Freedom School since 1998. I was once a scholar. I was a junior intern, an intern, and now I'm the executive director of Freedom School. Freedom School is a summer literacy-based program, 6 weeks. It's free to all families who attend. Freedom School is so near and dear to my heart because, again, like I said, I am a product of Freedom School. Some of the mentors that I have right now to this day is from Freedom School. Freedom School opened my eyes to everything when it comes to college, fraternities, HBCUs, Black history, just the love of learning and reading. I read my first book at Freedom School. My favorite book to this day was the book that I read at Freedom School, Money Hungry. I just shared that with Ms. V the other day.
Yes.
So, but my whole goal, also like our goal with Freedom School, is to honestly, piggybacking on what Paris said, is to give our scholars just the opportunity, expose them to everything that, and give them the options that we once didn't have, or the generation before them didn't have, and trying to give them a head up. And also, uh, uh, it's a big education is a big piece, but I also understand that all of our scholars aren't like going to or want to go to college. So what are the other things that we can do to set them up and get them and put them in places to be able to, if it's trade schools, if it's internships with other people. So I'm just trying to get our scholars exposed to that and find people who can help them just with that journey.
Now, Mr. Phil, I
Yes.
will ask you something that I will ask of all of our guests, and start with you as it
Yes.
relates to contact information for those young people and the parents who might be interested in getting their young people involved. But before you give us the contact information, I will let you know that I was blessed to be on another program and had the opportunity to interview Marian Wright Edelman, and just hearing her in person and being a part of that movement. Those of us, by the way, Mr. Phil, we were talking off camera and off air about the civil rights movement, and some of us who are a little older. And Kansas City, Missouri was very instrumental in the revival of freedom schools. And so that you are in a very pivotal, very important position, and we are proud and blessed that you have that position. How can we get in touch with you? And then Attorney Valencia Broadus will come to you and come back to our in-studio guests. Please.
Yes, you can follow us on all social media platforms at KCFSI95. If you, our email is kcfsi95@gmail.com. You can reach us by phone, 816-483-3717, extension 1005. Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Valencia Broadus.
And if I can, before I let Mr. Phil, I know he's got other things he may have to, and go and do as well. And before that, Mr. Phil, as you listen to Miss Nyla and Mr. Bailey, could you see some ways when you think about the scholars? Because it's K through 12. So it's not just, younger, baby kids. These are older people, and we have alumni. We have all these people that Mr. Phil is galvanizing everybody back around. So this is a relaunch. You pandemic and everything. Most of programs, all stopped for a while. So it's relaunching. We got a kickoff coming up, April 22nd, and people are gonna want to know, okay, Mr. Phil, how can we help? So please, and then after he speaks, then please go to your other guest, please, after that.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. We do have a kickoff April 22nd, and April 23rd. We'll have a Sunday service at Mount Pleasant. I see us helping, or how we could be of service in all facets. So for our interns, we call them servant leader interns. That's who lead our classrooms. They're actually college students. So we are actually tapped in with college students who might be interested in whether construction or any type of thing of that nature, where they can be an intern at that level, or where we can have high schoolers come in and intern and be of service in any type of way that we could possibly see fit.
And it is quite an event to go to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, yes.
As the Freedom Schools interns.
Training.
Yes, sir. So it is just a real pleasure and an honor that you're on the program today.
Absolutely.
Attorney Valencia brought us someone from Freedom Schools, but you are involved at several levels, including the Monday night program. For whatever aspect of it you want to identify, how are you contacted and how may they become involved?
Okay. Well, so for our smart money news and business reviews, we always are looking for not just everyday people, but we're looking for business owners. And we talk a lot about veterans, as a matter of fact, because we talk a lot about veterans and how can we help with stability, financial literacy, helping them to start businesses, all of that. We go through all of that. We have different experts on the show every week and talk about these issues. We talk about insurance. My dad, for example, he wasn't a connected veteran he's 79 now. Well, anyway, so for like 50 years, he wasn't a connected veteran. So when he got sick, we had to figure out how to do all that stuff. And, so we talk a lot about veterans as well in our smart money news and financial stuff. Excellent. So saying that to say, you can contact me at 816-612-1083 because we would love for people to come talk to us, tell us what they need, and connect them to these financial coaches. We have a team of coaches that help people step by step. We have accountability coaches. We just go step by step, whatever the individuals need, and they start by listening, to the show, and then we connect them. Then other than that, they can also email us at yourmoneyyourbusiness@gmail.com because it is your money and it is your business, but we want to help you. It's your money and your business. It's your prerogative. We get it, but we want to help. And that's just a way they can, if they don't want to be on the show and talk or anything, they can email us or call, leave a message. And Miss Paris, she is our person who, as we get referrals and people talk, she helps connect them to, whether it's we have a credit person, we have a home ownership person, we have insurance. I do estate planning. I do real estate full and estate planning and probate. Sometimes people need different, so we do that piece, and owning a profitable business. So we have these 6 areas that we help anybody on who's interested and needs it, and we just do that. So, but Ms. Paris helps us to get referrals and send you to the right people. We're definitely a group that helps. So. 816
I'm sorry. Start that over again.
No, I'm done. That's what I see. Stop me from talking, y'all.
It's the 816-612-1083. But when you be sure, if you call her, if her voicemail's full, text her. Please text her. She may not call you back because she is busy. Text her.
If I don't know the phone number, right?
Okay.
Yes. No, I prefer text.
Well, now, while we have Paris, one of the things that you are aware of that we attempt to do is be encouraging to veterans by introducing young people of excellence. What is one thing, Paris, Holly, or a few things that make you optimistic about the young people with whom you work?
What makes me optimistic about the young people is their mind. Mm-hmm. They are highly intelligent, highly just bright and visionary, but they are very realistic as well. And they are very desensitized because we see a lot of violence. I say we because I'm in the mix of their generation of seeing that just as we see it on TV, but they're living it a lot more than what we imagine because they're in the schools, and I know we all see what's happening on the news. So they're aware, they want to help, they want to do things, but they also have to be educated. And sometimes they don't know how they can help. And so being in that mix where we're a resource, and where I stand in that middle piece, I could talk to them, but also let them know, hey, just because people are older than you does not mean that they don't want to help you, and also help the people who are older who think that the kids don't care about what's happening with their future. Giving them that nice little happy medium, like they do care. They care more than what you'll think. They are worried. They want so much more for themselves, and I will not allow anybody to tell them less, and I will not allow them to be any lesser than what they can be for themselves. And trust and believe, every last one of them will tell you.
Come on. You're hearing that. That is so wonderful. And before we come back to our in-studio guests, let me ask KUAW Wilson, once again, our producer, engineer, co-host, to read an announcement to young people who are listening to, watching, wave your grades about the essays, and then we will come back in studio. This is the voice of DeQuay Wilson.
Students, you can win a monetary award from our sponsoring organization. Yes, we say organization on purpose, with purpose. Stutes for Boots. Your essay will be Heroes You Know You Did Not Know Were Heroes. Your content will identify a veteran at your school. Could be anyone, a teacher, a custodian, coach, absolutely anyone. Now, if your essay is chosen and submitted by an adult who gives you permission to read it on this Wave Your Grades program, you will be awarded a monetary prize. Please send your entry or your inquiry to stootsforboots@gmail.com. That is STOOTSFORBOOTS@gmail.com. Stootsforboots@gmail.com. Now back to our host and our guests.
Thank you so very much, DeQuay Wilson. Back to our in-studio guests. We were asking for contact information. You are involved in so many different things. It might be different ways, but please go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you.
Contact information is for Joel Bailey. Is 816-863-8224. My email is wjbailey@kcfootprints.org. I just got to tell you, I am tearing up listening the vision that I have from listening with the guests here.
Praise God.
Freedom School, Paris.
Yes.
All the potentials that I see that we as an organization, we are the organization for Freedom School, for Paris, and for the financial equality and teaching people. So we want to get on the platform that Paris was talking about.
Yes, sir.
We want to be able to be not later, as Nyla said earlier. We want to do something now. So I encourage us starting next week to connect, start building that plan. There are a lot of things that I know that the youth need to see. They need to see this project unfold. Yes. They need to be able to see what it takes for our people to do a project of this magnitude. We're talking about a $7.6 million project on the east side of Kansas City.
Thank you.
They need to see,
yes,
give them
sir.
opportunity to see the insides and the outs of what it takes to serve our people. They need to see the challenges, but they also need to see the hope. They need to see the challenges, but they also need to see the hope. And they need to see how that's developed. How do we treat people when they're in need? The legal component of housing, ownership, business. We're doing that here. This is the two people that are sitting here at the table now are working together, collaborating, not only with us two, but we're collaborating with people inside our community and outside our community.
Thank you.
So we got to know that, it doesn't have to be all black, but we have to also be not afraid to talk about black.
Right.
Yeah, as we look at what's going on down in Tennessee.
Yes.
I'm from Tennessee. So born and raised from Tennessee. And so to look at what happened in the house is Freedom School. Just another shout out to Freedom School. I probably about 10 years ago, I volunteered with Freedom School at Christian Fellowship Baptist Church. And my job was boots on the ground as I worked in the kitchen, washing the dishes.
Yes, sir.
And fixing the tables and help fix the place for the kids. So all the things that are going on here right now is the connecting the dots as the spirit.
You know what's very interesting, and I'm so glad that you said that. And Nida, please allow me this, and I'll come right back to you. But Mr. Phil is indeed still with us. And one of the things that you and I can attest to Mr. Phil is the fact that the environment at Freedom Schools is so down to earth. It's so personal. It is so interconnected and communicative that there is not a young person in the Freedom Schools culture who is reluctant or afraid to ask a question.
That's right.
Or to ask for help. There is no adult person in Freedom Schools who would have the audacity to say, "Oh, you just wash dishes."
Right.
No, that's just as important.
Every job is important, and being as me as a leader, I feel that we need to serve. Sometimes people just like to talk behind a desk or not be seen. To me, I love the terminology "boots on the ground." You actually have to be out there to be seen doing cutting grass. Have to work with the community. Can't be talking from your car window or from a phone. actually being on the ground, working with the people, and then helping them teach you some things. Because I love
There
working
you
with them
go.
because they teach
Absolutely.
me things, and they like to see that two-way street. There is where like, he was listening to me.
Yes.
Yeah, and back to what Perry was saying, we got to let the youth know. We got to let them to be exposed their knowledge, their
Thank you.
visions. Because I'm excited about the youth being able to bring something to the operation that we're doing now. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so Nyla can talk more about the brick campaign, and we are busting. She know I'm a gunslinger, so when I hear stuff,
Yes, sir.
don't nobody duck. But I'm a gunslinger when it comes to ideas and vision.
Praise God. Come on.
I don't wait on them.
That's it.
I activate them, and we go to work.
Yes, Nyla, please. Thank you.
This whole conversation is extremely inspirational.
Praise
Extremely
God.
inspirational. Yes, and Joel is a gunslinger who always gives me more work to do. But that is what my role is to actually help pull this together from a construction standpoint to make his vision, Footprint's vision, a reality. And so when we talk about students working and being active, my ideas were shooting all over the place around how we attempt to document the work that's being done. I love to take pictures, so I'm sure there are students who would want to help come out and document the process of the construction project.
Absolutely.
Some who may actually be interested in the particular trades that are necessary in order to do the construction. So there's a lot of different aspects to being able to pull in Freedom School students as well as other students into this project. Of course, it increases our workload, but that's what we're here for,
Exactly.
because we're active in the community.
That's right.
So probably the best way to get in touch with me is to call. But I also have social media. I'm trying to do a little bit better in my business
Yes,
with using the social media. The telephone number is 816-651-2665. I will say that I get a lot of robocalls, so please leave me a message or text me if I don't respond, because I'll just think you're a spam caller.
Exactly.
In terms of the social media, you can find ACAMAC on Facebook and Instagram, and ACAMAC is spelled ACCOMAK, Development Group. And if I may, that's a special. I chose that name for my business because that is the county in Virginia in which my maternal grandmother's family originated on these shores. It also represents the first initial of each of my 7 grandchildren. So the company we're building, and I work with my son and daughter. So we're building a legacy for future generations.
Yes. This is so, you were talking about this program being, I'm sorry, inspirational. It certainly is. Who was that speaking?
That was me.
Please go
I
right
wanted
ahead.
to chime in just a little bit. Just listening to some of the things that you were saying. So some of the pieces I've done is work with some minority-owned businesses. So we do have a nice little network
Yes.
who wouldn't mind being a part of that construction piece, wouldn't mind being part of the visionary piece. We have some college students right now who have internships and they can work and be a part of that. They can get their college credit. So I work on, that's another piece of the 100 million things I do. Getting people connected. So I really do get people connected, and working with not only minority owned businesses, but we have somebody who does a little bit of everything, every piece. And we are wholeheartedly involved. I am wholeheartedly involved. Yeah, my kids are too. So you'll definitely see them skipping and jumping along the way, because they get to meet everybody just as I do, because it's important for them to see the excellence on all playing fields, all sides. And as I said, I'm an engineer by trade. So I work in the construction side as well. So I have my hands in some of that. And I know a few different business owners who want to be involved in different projects. They just don't know about them or how to be involved where it can help them out. So I'll plug and chug myself a little bit too.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely, please.
I want to chime in just really, really quickly. I look forward to the partnership between these 3 organizations.
Yes.
And the reason I say this, I have an intimate knowledge of Valencia Broadus, and I know for a fact that she produces leaders into this community.
Yes.
I have working with Darren Faulkner, I have actually had an opportunity to volunteer at Freedom Schools, or I've gone out and I've read with the kids, and I know that these are some enthusiastic, bright, brilliant children. And then I've had an opportunity in the past also to meet with Joel, and I've toured the facility, and I know the current facility. I can only imagine what will take place with the new facility, and I know the work that you do, and I'm proud of the work that all three of you do, and I just think this is going to be an amazing partnership, and nothing but good can come from this. So I had to chime in and say that.
I am so glad that, please, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to, before we,
yes.
I would like for Nyla to get an opportunity to talk. We have Buy the Brick campaign, and what this does is give an opportunity for the community to invest on a level to be able to honor their members of their family that served our country. It's $150 break for each member, and then we have a family break. Well, it has 5 members, which is $750. Then we have a corporate break for $1,000. But I want Nyla to chime in here.
Please,
on this,
please.
So the building is a 17 square foot building with a full basement that's finished. We call that space a therapeutic space. First floor, living space for the women, offices, and then the top floor is where the men will reside. So we'll be serving 24 veterans. In the there is a courtyard of the building where there's going to be the bricks laid, the pavers laid, and that is where we're opening it up to the community to be able to invest in this project by buying memorial bricks.
Yes.
And they don't just have to be memorial bricks. If you want to highlight somebody who's been a mentor or anybody else in your life. And so, you know, it's a $7.6 million project, but we do have to raise additional money. We have quite a bit of support from the City of Kansas City through the CCED, through the Housing Trust Fund, and the CDBG funding. We also have significant funding from local foundations and corporations, but now we really need the community to do their part and step up. Our campaign is a $650,000 campaign. And we chose that because we have a challenge grant from the Maybe Foundation.
Wow.
And so essentially they have pledged us $500,000, but they are requiring the organization to raise $680,000, of which $870,000 of which we've raised about 225 of that.
Excellent.
So additionally, you know, that is where maybe the students can help with some of the fundraising aspect, bring fresh thought to the way that we're approaching the fundraising, who to contact, etc. So please reach out to us.
Yes.
All the information is on both on the Footprints Facebook page. We also have the Footprints website. Everything is very how should I say, technologically advanced, where you can Facebook, scan the little QRC code and go directly to the website. Wow. So we're trying to do things to make it very easy for people to get involved in this project.
And I'd just like to say quickly too that to Mr. Fields, to Paris, that we Footprints will be interested in providing lunch for some of the engagements or opportunities. Wow. We would like to invest in some of the things that you guys are doing for the kids. Like I say right now, also please reach out to me for an invite to do a walkthrough. Do not hesitate. So my phone number again is 816-863-8224. Call me, schedule a time to do walkthrough. Some of the organizations, Paris, that you were talking about, I would like to meet with your team so we can have a luncheon setting and meet with Nyla and I so we could immediately start strategically. We don't want to just talk about something. I call it action steps.
Yes.
So I like to do action steps. My theme is execute this year.
This is so wonderful. And by the way, there is nobody in studio who can sum up better than KUAW Wilson. And putting that together in the way that you did really emphasizes what we would love to do with a program like this. And we don't have to wait until your guests in studio to talk about what you're doing. And I just had a conversation. I have the opportunity, it's really the honor, of being a member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary. I am a civilian, so I cannot be a part of VFW. But my oldest brother served in Korea, February 8th, 1952 to February 8th, 1955. and he was putting up lines while people below him were fighting in that war.
Wow.
So just had a conversation this morning at our VFW breakfast about two simple words. And 100% of us in the room would have the same response to breaking news. How often does any of us think of something wonderful that's getting ready to happen when we see breaking news? So we at KUAW will have to start, as part of our program, making news.
That's right.
And when we put up making news, there's some young person making news.
That's right.
Because they have been exposed to
That's
people
right.
like
Yes.
Exactly.
who are on our panel. We're already at the end. We were very close to the end. So we're going to ask Paris Holly, Mr. Phil Valencia brought us to start us off with very brief closing remarks. We'll come back into the studio to Nyla and Joel, and then we will close out. My goodness, that went too fast. But please, Sister Paris first.
Okay.
All right. I will say always look for our young people and never count them out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Mr. Phil.
Yes, I would say many hands make the load light. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen.
Attorney Valencia brought us.
I want to mention that we do a lot of work-based mentoring programs, and so we have teams of many young people that we put on different projects, and I think that's the best way to teach them and mentor them. And so we definitely, Miss Paris is one of those leads for some of those programs, but we definitely will, as we identify together the different projects that we might be able to help with, because we don't want to make it, the load heavier at Footprints. You're doing so much. That's what we do at the Smart Learning Centers. We do work-based mentoring through projects that fit organizations. So I'm excited.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. And back to a studio, Nyla, please.
I would have to sum everything up as saying, I am because we are.
Wow. Outstanding. Thank you.
Yeah.
Joel Bailey.
Yeah, for me, the theme is one block at a time.
Wow. Thank you so much. A very, very, very deep thank you to all of our guests. And let me turn it back over to KUAW Wilson.
I would like to join our guests, and I would like to thank our guests and our listeners for joining us on your Stutes for Boots Wave Your Grades program. We come to you live every Saturday from 1 to 2 Central Standard Time, right here at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center in Kansas City, Missouri. I am your announcer, KUAW Wilson. Now, our host, Carl Boyd, will close with Carl's commentary on academic patriotism and his daily message for students in honor of our veterans from his book, Morning Messages.
We have a brief time for Carl's commentary on academic patriotism, and I will make those comments by saying this group. And as for my daily message to young people, to students across the USA, your Stutes for Boots message for this day, April 8th. They wear protective helmets so you can use your heads. April 8th, they wear protective helmets so you can use your heads. My name is Carl Boyd. This is Wave Your Grades on KUAW.org. Thank you so much for joining us, and gracious God and wonderful Wanda, I'm on my way home.
Great show, Mr. Boyd. Amen. Wonderful, wonderful. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, thank you. Yes.
Oh, there we go. How do I do it?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's not doing it for me. I'm trying to leave. Hold on, y'all. I'm doing something wrong. Hold on. Leave. Leave.